What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you a review of the Air Jordan 14 Retro in this Flint Gray colorway. The Air Jordan 14, in my opinion, is one of the most underappreciated models that Michael Jordan actually wore. And it's probably a model that's higher up on my list than many other people's. So this Flint Gray colorway is a brand new take on the Air Jordan 14 and it released on March 20th for a retail price of $210 or $270 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is Flint Gray, Stealth, and White, and these were available at most Air Jordan retailers, including the Closet Inc. here in Canada. The Closet Inc. is my go-to shop for Nike and Air Jordan retros, and they're independently owned and operated, based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada. And they offer some of the best prices and best deals nationwide, so check out their website, their social media. I've linked all of that down below, so be sure to check them out, support the independent shops, and tell them that I sent you. So this Flint Gray colorway of the Air Jordan 14 is done in a relatively monochromatic way. Starting things off with the toe box, this is covered in this gray colored shaggy or long-haired suede, and we have a Jumpman logo embroidered right in the middle. On the sides of the toe box, you can see how these foam teeth wrap up from the midsole and onto the sides of the shoe, giving you additional lockdown and support around the toe box area. And then covering the entire mid panel, we have another suede panel, but this is a lighter shade of gray, and it's not nearly as shaggy. It's much more of a flatter suede, but it still has a very nice feel to it to the touch. Moving downwards, we have more of that darker, long-haired suede, and then on the lateral side only, obviously with the Air Jordan 14 being inspired by a Ferrari, we have this Ferrari-inspired Jumpman logo, which is done in a mix of dark gray and white. We have this cutaway towards the heel, revealing more of that flatter suede, and when you look at the medial side of the shoe, it's built a little bit differently, so we have a much larger panel of this flatter suede, but then covering the center of the heel of the shoe, again we have that darker shaggy suede, and then we have this large TPU overlay with the Jumpman logo and the number 23. In terms of laces, this pair only comes with one lace option, and they're a gray colored oval shaped lace, but they come with these metallic lace tips, which gives the shoe a little bit more of a premium feel. Underneath this, the tongue is crafted in what feels like suede, but this is actually a synthetic suede. We have these perforations covering the entire tongue, and then on the top of the tongue we have this woven layer, along with this rubbery TPU bar, which has Jordan branding on the outside and the number 14 in Roman numerals on the inside. The interior of the shoe is lined in this gray colored finish, and just like any other Air Jordan 14, this is done in this asymmetrical fashion, with the lateral side of the ankle cut a little bit lower. And then as far as the insoles go, these come with your typical Jordan 14 insole, which is a dual density foam setup. So on the top we have this Jumpman logo pressed onto the heel, and then on the bottom you can see we have these additional foam pods which sit underneath the forefoot and the heel. So the upper of the Jordan 14 sits atop this Phylon foam midsole, which is painted in a mix of dark gray and white. You can see how the chrome shank plate wraps up and onto the midsole, giving you additional support and structure, but encased within this midsole but not visible to the eye, we have two Zoom Air units, one underneath the heel and one that sits right underneath the ball of your foot. And then on the medial side, just like any other Air Jordan 14, and again inspired by a Ferrari, we have this ventilation hole, which gives the shoe a little bit more breathability. Finally, turning the shoe over to the bottom, so here we have this gray colored rubber outsole with a circular pivot point with the number 14 in Roman numerals on the forefoot. So we have this herringbone style traction pattern that runs from heel to toe, and then again in the middle of the outsole, we have this chrome TPU shank plate, which is there to help with torsional rigidity and midfoot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about sizing, generally I feel like the Jordan 14 fits pretty true to size, so that's what I'd recommend for most people. My foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I got these in a size 10 and they fit me perfectly in a slightly snug way. So I feel like if you have a wide foot, you might be better off going up a half size, but for narrow, normal, or slightly wide footers, true to size should fit you okay. Moving on to the comfort, so these are actually an underrated shoe when it comes to comfort, at least in my opinion. The underfoot feeling I find is extremely bouncy. You can really feel that snappiness of the Zoom Air underneath both the forefoot and the heel. And the Jordan 14 is actually a much lighter shoe than it might look, and it's a shoe that I've worn both on the court as well as casually, and I've enjoyed the feeling of them in both scenarios. I probably wouldn't want to wear this shoe for ball necessarily because of the suede layers. It's probably not going to be the most durable option, but I think it'll be perfectly fine wearing these off the court. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality, I was very happy with it. The materials for the most part are genuine quality materials as far as Jordan brand goes, so we have actual genuine suedes on the upper. And this being all gray, it really gives it more of that classy and elevated and sophisticated feel. But from a build and craftsmanship standpoint, this is where it wasn't the best. There were quite a few glue stains on the upper, and the paint job in the midsole was kind of sloppy in a few places, so I've definitely seen better QC on Jordan brand general releases. This one was definitely not their best. So with all that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up for you and I'll show you guys how these look. Like I said in the beginning, I know that Air Jordan 14 is not going to be a silhouette for everyone. It's much more of a acquired taste, and I feel like a lot of Air Jordan 14 fans actually lived through Michael Jordan wearing like the Last Shot 14s. At least for me, that's why this model resonates for me, and I totally get it's not the easiest shoe to pull off casually. But I think this colorway isn't bad. Like I said, it has a bit more of a mature and sophisticated vibe to it, and I like how they gave us more of a premium, elevated feel on an otherwise sportier looking model. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Flint Gray Air Jordan 14? For anyone watching, did you also pick these up? Are you waiting for these to go on sale? Or are you just not a fan of the colorway or the Jordan 14 in general? As usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check me out on X at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Another shout out goes out to The Closet Inc. And I'll catch all of you in my next video.